Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It is Monday, May 5th. It is the Cinco de Mayo. So everybody enjoy. Have some tequila for me. I will say that I have become a much bigger fan of tequila over the last, say 5 to 10 years. My friend Steven kind of got me onto it before it got so popular. Then it got really expensive. So now the fun thing to do is try to find interesting tequilas that people don't know about yet, so they don't charge as much for them. That is my hope for you this Cinco de Mayo. Hey, my other hope for you is that if you've got a financial question, if you've got something going on in your life, get in touch with us. Go to jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us a note, and if you want to join us on the air live, check that box, and Mark does all of the other work. It's very excellent, especially for me, because he does the work. Now, while you're on the website, don't forget you can sign up for the free weekly newsletter and check out all the content that lives on the website. It changes all the time. Mark does a great job with that. Okay. Today, we are talking to Jane and Matt. They join us from Arizona. Hello, you two. How are you? What can we do for you?
Hey, Jill. We're doing well. How are you guys?
What's happening? What's going on? I mean, Scottsdale, so nice. All of Arizona. I'm a big fan of Tucson also. So what is it that we can do for you? How can we help you out today?
So longtime listeners and have been thinking about this, and we're coming upon retirement, we think, within the next year. Probably less than that. And so assuming all the models we've run, the scenarios, I feel like we're there, ready to step away. I want to do something different. I know that typically you're thinking, well, what do you want to do next? I have ideas. It's retiring to, not retiring from. But the biggest thing I think we want to nail down is our decumulation strategy, because we're pretty knee deep in some tax deferred assets. We have a meeting with our financial advisor coming up, and we just don't want to go into it blindly. We're trying to do all of our prep on our side so, we can compare notes with him and just looking for an unbiased opinion on what we're facing.
Okay, that's awesome. How old are you guys?
54, soon to be 55, both of us.
Oh my God, you're so young. Wow. Will you guys be entitled to pensions?
I will have a lump sum pension that's going to pay out over the summer. The company has decided to do the lump sums instead of, they froze it years ago. So I think that they're just unburdening themselves.
Okay. And how much will that be, that lump sum?
About $30,000.
And then what other retirement assets do you have, Jane, that this lump sum would be added to?
401k. Do we want to start there?
Sure. Why not?
1.5 million in a 401k.
Not taxed yet.
Correct.
Okay.
I do have a stock plan with some RSUs and options for 2025 that vests. That's approximately, let's say, 55 grand that's going to dump into there.
Okay.
Husband has a traditional IRA at 850,000. We do have a joint Roth.
What do you mean a joint Roth? There's no such thing.
Okay. Well, it's a Roth.
Someone has a Roth. It's either in your name or his name.
Correct. That's 80 grand.
What about the brokerage account? What do you got?
It's just over $1 million.
So we've got the lump sum payout, your traditional, there's a little Roth, there's a traditional IRA in Matt's name, and we have the brokerage account. The stock plan is going to get added to the brokerage account. Any other assets that are in invested accounts?
There is an HSA of approximately 32,000.
Oh, that's great. When I look at like the cash accounts, do you include like the cash on hand inside of that brokerage account, or do you have something outside of the brokerage account that's cash or cash equivalents?
Savings outside of that, 110 grand.
You guys own your home?
We do, yeah.
How much is it worth?
625 paid off.
Paid off. Great. How is the room for me and Mark? Can we visit?
Well, we do have another property you could stay at if you.
Oh, so is that a rental property?
It is. It's a short-term rental right now, and we're considering selling that. Actually, I think we've made the decision to sell it this fall. So that's another.
How much is that worth?
Approximately 625.
Oh, 2 625s, a pair of 625s.
Yeah.
And is there no mortgage on that one either?
There's a mortgage on it of $385,000 remaining.
Did you buy it, at a much lower value?
No, not really. I mean, it's appreciated. It's appreciated some since we purchased it.
Are you declaring the short-term rental income as rental income flowing through on your tax returns?
We are, Jill, but it's been, here's one of the challenges we've been facing. So it approximately costs about, let's say, $38K for the rental. One season we were able to break even. Here in the recent seasons, it's probably brought in around $20K, and we do shut it down over summer and when we go back to visit family and so forth. So it's it costs.
Well, so the only thing that I just want to point out, since you're going to sell it in this year, is make sure do you ever have a CPA or a tax filing service or person you work with?
We do. We just had a conference with her about this. Yes.
Fabulous. Because she's going to tell you, well, it may not feel like you've made a lot of money, but I depreciated it. And now when we sell it, I have to capture the depreciation. So just know that there could be some tax due. That's all. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do it because you've got a lot of equity, right?
Right.
And so it'd be nice to unlock that equity as you approach your retirement, right? So, whatever, 240, let's say it's 200 grand you'll net.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Okay. So that'll go into the brokerage account, which is fabulous. So that's another 200,000 from house sales. Is there anything else you want to do with that money? Are you going to tell me that, in the summer we want to go north and we want to invest that $200,000 from the house proceeds to buy something else or not?
No, we were, thinking of, we're going to have to pay for health insurance in some form. We're pretty much trying to stockpile, cash.
So what's the game plan on that? Are you guys thinking Affordable Care Act for 10 years, kind of?
The networks are so narrow. We're not having good luck finding, you can get coverage, but to get care is a whole nother equation. There's some other options of crowd sharing type services that we're looking into. So there's
but neither of you wants to get another job. You're not going to be baristas to get health insurance is what you're telling me.
No, highly unlikely.
All right. So you're saying, let's look at that house proceeds, that 200 grand plus whatever's in the HSA. We're going to burn that up. That's going to pay for healthcare, essentially.
Yes.
All right. This is great. Do you have kids? Grown?
No kids.
No kids.
No kids. We're dog people, but no dog currently.
It's hard to have dogs in Arizona. I knew this because I had friends who lived in Scottsdale, and it was traumatic getting the dog used to the hot weather. Basically meaning that in the summer they had to get that dog up very, very, very early and walk the dog.
That's true.
A lot.
Yeah, you do have to adjust getting up early. And so that is a challenge.
All right. But I think you should get a dog. Okay. Now, in terms of your spending, what is it that you, and again, let's presume that the short-term rental is sold. Now, tell me what you think you spend on a monthly or annual basis.
10 grand a month.
That's it?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's on the high end. It can range 8 to 10. So instead of picking 9, let's go with 10.
Let's go with 10. I like that. All right. So let's do some math. Mark, are you ready to math with me? It's going to be fun. So, Mark, we have
3.7.
3.7. Wait, total, or let's do traditional first. Don't even include that Roth. So we have the 1.5, right, and then the 850. Right. That's our like what we're on the hook for in terms of RMDs. Correct? There's nothing else. Okay. It's 1.5 plus the lump sum payment. It's 880 and 1.5. Okay, Mark. Let's grow that for 10 years. Tell me what you got at age 65 at that point.
Yeah, you're north of 4 million.
All right. So that would be 4 million at age 65. Okay, I'm just looking at this now. So then we have the brokerage account and the Roth account. When you're looking at your strategy, and I'll talk about decumulation in 1 second, what are you thinking about in terms of claiming Social Security? Are you going to claim at age 67?
We haven't, we're not married to it, or we do have the numbers of what the benefit would be.
All right, what's your benefit at 67 or 70?
So it's 67 for me, it's 3,300, and it's 3,100 for him.
Okay, 3,300 and 3,100 at 67. And what about at age 70 for you guys?
Roughly, say, I think 4,000. I looked at the estimates recently. So,
okay. So
yeah.
Instead of 6,400, about $8,000.
Yes.
Okay. The question is, and I'm going to ask Mark this, Do you want to invoke the rule of 55 to start pulling money out of that 401k that has not yet been taxed, Mark?
If the plan allows it, I would certainly consider that. Yeah, that's
so part of a decumulation strategy is kind of like, it's sort of twofold. What we know is you have a bunch of money, right? It's most of your money has not been taxed yet. There is a rule that allows you, if your plan allows it, to tap money out of a 401k before the age of 59 and a half, as early as age 55, hence the rule of 55. And you could pull money out of that account a little bit at a time. Okay. And that is a pretty interesting idea for you guys, because you would avoid having that money pile up, be forced to take the money out. You get the money out sooner, live on it, because we have to replicate this 10 grand a month, right?
Right.
So if you pulled 150 grand out or so, and you paid the tax that's due, you're in the 22% tax bracket, and you live on what you pull out of that 401k, that's pretty good. That's pretty close there. And if you did that for, let's say, 10 years, and you essentially started to deplete your 401k slowly but surely over the next 10 or 12 years, then you get to age 65, 67, then the Social Security benefit kind of kicks in. You have the money that's in the brokerage account. You also have the old traditional IRA that's still bubbling up, because we can only tap money from the 401k and invoke the rule of 55. You can't do it with a traditional IRA.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think that when we talk about decumulation for you guys, we would say, how about we live on your 401k? If, again, you have to check to see if you're allowed to use the rule of 55 in your plan.
They do recognize it.
They do. Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic. So essentially, I would use that, take all the money out of that as I possibly could over the next, say, 10 years. You'd essentially get, I think you'd probably deplete it over 10 years or so, maybe a little bit. I don't know. It'll depend on markets, but let's just say it's done. But the traditional IRA will continue to grow over the next 10 years. You could use that if you wanted to once the 401k is depleted. You then turn to the traditional IRA, start using that. And then once you are claiming Social Security, either at 67 or 70, we're now like off to the races, because we haven't touched your brokerage account and we haven't touched the traditional IRA or the Roth. Now, is there any idea, like you said, okay, we're going to retire too. Is there any hope, dream of making a little bit of cash on the side or not?
We want to volunteer more with the rescue organizations for dogs. So we haven't
counted on additional income.
That's fine. You don't need to. I mean, if it happened, it happens. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine. Please don't feel like you have to. I think it works. So the advisor that you're meeting with, does that person manage the traditional IRA and the brokerage account?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of investments are in those accounts? Are they mutual funds? Are they?
Yes.
Are they? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
How do you pay this person?
So he is a fiduciary.
Good.
It's a minimal fee.
Assets.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's like 1% of assets under management.
Exactly.
Like that?
Yes.
Okay. If for some reason this person says, I have a great idea. Let's take that 401k or let's take your traditional IRA and invest it in an annuity. Do not do anything like that. Do not buy any product. Do not buy any product. I want to say this 3 times. Ready for your third time? Please do not buy any product. Even fiduciaries could probably make a case that you guys might want to consider an annuity, because they would say, look, we'll take that traditional IRA, we'll, invest it for a few years, but then we'll start pumping money out. It'll be a guaranteed monthly income. But there can be a shuck and jive on this. It's not the right thing for you. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Okay.
So if this person happens to bring up an annuity, you need a new advisor.
Okay. Noted.
All right. Now, what else do we need to know about this? Does this plan seem reasonable to you? I mean, the healthcare thing is a big deal, so I'm going to leave that to you guys, but you got to have coverage. We want to make sure you have, 10 years of coverage. And I think you're right that, you're going to need 10 or 15 grand just for that. So that's why I think it's good that you have the house proceeds to pay for that.
Yeah, no, I think that this makes sense. It's, confirming what we're thinking. Our biggest, aside from the planning, is just trying to avoid any unforced errors, I guess, moving forward. You tend to.
Well, I don't think there'll be an unforced error if you avoid buying product. I think the only unforced error would be someone convincing you that you need something that you probably don't need. Also, an unforced error might be if an advisor were like, oh, let's roll your 401k over to your traditional IRA, but you lose the ability to invoke the rule of 55.
Okay.
That would be the unforced error.
All right. Makes sense.
Now, what about, do you guys have any estate documents done? You're going to be traveling. Do you have everything all set?
We do. We just redid the will. We're set there. And
great.
We've got our life insurance in place.
Who's getting all the money?
Exactly. Where's that insurance going? Where is it going? Come on.
Well, based on statistics, Jane will.
Right, exactly. Jane and her second husband will. That'll be very nice for them. Excellent.
There we go.
I just recently told my wife I thought it would be because we have a friend who has found love after a deceased spouse. And I said, honey, what I really want is for you to wear black for the rest of your life and be miserable. She goes, thank you. That's very nice to know. I'm glad.
Honesty is the key to a long and healthy marriage.
That's right. Exactly. I want everyone to be happy. All right, Jane, Matt, Arizona, go have some fun. Stay cool. Put on your sunblock. Thanks so much for getting in touch with us. If you guys are listening to this and are like, oh, rule of 55, I want to know if I can do that. Give us a holler. Maybe it's something else going on in your financial life or your broader life. Go to JillOnMoney.com. Click the Contact Us button. Write us a note. If you want to join us on the air live, check the box. Mark will do everything else. Don't forget you can subscribe to this show on the Odyssey app. You can also subscribe to our sister broadcast called Money Watch. Both of them available through the fine folks at Odyssey. Do me a favor and lift someone up. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening. Don't drink too much tequila tonight because we're going to talk to you tomorrow.